I think everybody's figured out content marketing is the way to go, and that you need to become an authoritative voice in the market that you serve. It's no longer effective just to do product advertising. Even just pre-pandemic, so not that long ago, a lot of companies, their strategy, we'll get to content, was essentially product advertising, NPI announcements, and relying on that to produce leads. Well, that type of marketing is really bottom of the funnel. It's going to be a very small number of people that respond to that, versus content. And the broader the content, the further up the funnel you move. So, if let's say you're selling connectors to the automotive industry, for example, a very broad white paper on, 5 key things to consider for the harsh environment of an automotive platform when choosing a connector. That was a terrible title, wasn't it? But you know what I'm saying? That's gonna appeal broadly to a lot of design engineers working on different aspects of an automotive platform. So that's probably going to get a lot of response. And then as you get further down the funnel, you get more specific about the content. You know, and in our eyes, the product piece of the content comes last. That's a very sort of quick overview I'm sort of giving there of, how do you think about the type of content you're going to use? You have to think, well, what am I using it for? Am I just collecting names and building my audience? Am I trying to identify active buyers in the market, for example? If we think about a lead generation strategy, and it could be that this is just pure thought leadership, and maybe that's tied to SEO. Maybe the content is there because you want Google to crawl it and bring those people to your site, which is kind of where things are sort of shifting to pretty quickly at the moment. So that it really comes down to what's the purpose of the content.
Yeah. No, I like it. And I'm always like the one, provide value, right? Don't just spit out things, provide value. Because then you will actually start getting followers, and you will also have, customers or engineers, whatever, they're signing up for these emails because they know, or this newsletter, right? They know something valuable is coming out that could be of interest.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we have a phrase at Lectrix. It's marketing for engineers, not to engineers. If you know an engineer, and I know one because I'm talking to one right now, engineers don't like the idea of being marketed to. No. They don't feel like they're being subjected to something. And we talk about the sort of disparate relationship between marketing and sales. Think about the disparate relationship between sales and engineering. That's even further apart. So if you have this mindset that you're providing value, providing marketing, information and education for engineers rather than to them, that's a good way to sort of set the mindset of the team that's about to go down this new infrastructure journey, let's say, of how to build a better strategy. If you have that idea in mind, it's usually sets the direction well.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Mind Innovation Podcast. New episodes are dropping bi-weekly, so make sure you're following wherever you get your podcast. You can find me on LinkedIn, search for Sanna Winding. You can also find me on YouTube, search for Mind Innovation, or go to my website, sannawinding.com or mindinnovation.com. Stay curious, keep learning.